if you found your way to this video, there is a high chance you are carrying a very specific kind of pain. Not the loud kind, not the obvious kind, but the kind that makes you constantly question yourself. Today, we are talking about the covert narcissist husband and how women can begin healing when the abuse is quiet and no one believes them. A covert narcissist does not look abusive on the outside. In fact, he often looks calm, polite, thoughtful, emotionally controlled, reasonable, sometimes even deeply nice. Now, this is why so many women feel ashamed when naming their distress, because when you try to explain what is happening, people will often respond with, but he seems like such a good man. Are you sure you are not overthinking? He's so calm, my sister, though. You are lucky he doesn't even shout. And slowly the problem stops being the relationship and becomes you. Now, let me explain clearly what covert narcissism looks like inside a marriage. Now, this is the husband who rarely raises his voice, but regularly undermines your reality. You raise a concern and he responds with confusion. I don't know what you're talking about. My dear, that never happened. You're remembering it wrong, my love. You express hurt and he becomes the injured party. I can't believe that you think that of me. After everything I do for you, babe, why do you always assume the worst of me? Now, he rarely apologizes in a way that brings repair. Instead, you get, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I guess I'm just not good enough. Nothing I ever do is even enough for you. And over time, something very specific happens psychologically. You stop trusting your own mind. You replay conversations. You begin to question your tone. You wonder if you imagined it. You feel anxious before even speaking. You begin to rehearse what you're going to say and often decide that it's not even worth it. Now, this is not because you are weak, it is because covert abuse erodes identity quietly. Now, I want to be very clear here. The absence of shouting does not mean the presence of safety. You heard me. The absence of bruises does not mean the absence of harm. Emotional abuse works by destabilizing your sense of self. So let's talk about how women can begin healing when they are married to a covert narcissist. And I want you to imagine that you are sitting with me in a therapy room as we go through this. Step one, stop asking, is it really that bad? And start asking, what is this doing to me? You see, one of the biggest traps in covert narcissistic marriages is comparison. You begin to tell yourself, at least he doesn't hit me. At least he provides. At least he's calm. Other women have it worse, you know. But healing does not begin with comparison, it begins with impact. Ask yourself, how has this relationship affected my confidence, my clarity, my joy, my sense of self, my ability to trust my own thoughts? If the answer is erosion, confusion, and shrinking, something is wrong. You do not need a dramatic story to justify healing. Step two, understand why your body feels exhausted all the time. Many women married to covert narcissists live in a constant state of low grade stress. You may often feel chronically tired, mentally foggy, emotionally flat, anxious without knowing why, unable to find yourself relaxing fully. Now, that is because your nervous system is constantly scanning for subtle shifts, tone changes, silence, withdrawal, mood shifts. Your body is working overtime to keep you safe in a relational environment that is unpredictable. So, the first healing move is not confrontation, it is nervous system regulation. Simple, repeatable practices matter more than dramatic actions. Slow breathing, grounding, reducing over explaining, giving your body signals of safety. You are not dramatic for needing this, you are regulated for wanting it. Step three, stop explaining yourself to someone who benefits from your confusion. This is a hard one, I know. Covert narcissists often gain power through ambiguity. The more you explain, justify, clarify, and defend, the more material they have to twist the narrative. So, healing begins when you shorten your responses, not cold, not rude, just contained. You do not owe long explanations to someone who consistently misunderstands you. Now, this is not about winning arguments, it is about protecting your mental space. Step four, begin reality anchoring. Gaslighting works by disconnecting you from your internal compass. So we rebuild it deliberately. Reality anchoring can look like writing down conversations after they happen, noting patterns rather than isolated incidents, keeping a private journal of how you feel after interactions, checking your perceptions with a safe, grounded person. Not everyone deserves access to your story. This is very important. You must choose people who help you think, not panic. This step alone often restores enormous clarity. Step five, understand the trauma bond without shaming yourself. Many women say, if he's so damaging, why do I still feel attached? It's because the bond is not built on love alone. It is built on intermittent reinforcement, moments of warmth, moments of connection, moments where he is kind again. Those moments are very powerful. They keep hope alive. You are not foolish for feeling attached. Your nervous system is simply responding to relief after distress. Healing means that you begin relating to the pattern, not the moment. Step six, spiritual integration without spiritual pressure. For Christian women, covert narcissism often creates spiritual confusion. I'll explain. Because you may ask, am I being unforgiving? Am I, rebellious for questioning? Shouldn't I be more patient? Let me say this carefully. God does not require women to abandon discernment in order to prove faith. Fruit matters, character matters, impact matters. Spiritual maturity includes accountability, humility, and repair. If your faith is constantly being used to quiet you rather than to protect you, something is misaligned. Step seven, I need you to build support even if you are not leaving. Many women think support is only for women who are leaving. That is not true. Support is for women who are thinking clearly. Therapeutic support, wise pastoral support, trauma informed spaces. You do not need to announce decisions to receive support. Healing is allowed to begin quietly. Now, I want to slow us down and summarize because this matters. If you are married to a covert narcissist, healing starts like this. You stop minimizing because others don't see it. You focus on impact, not appearances. You stabilize your nervous system. You reduce over explaining. You anchor yourself in reality. You understand the trauma bond. You integrate faith without pressure. And you build support even if you stay. You are not imagining this. You are not too sensitive, and you are not failing God by wanting clarity. In the next episode, we will talk about the spiritually manipulative narcissist, where scripture and faith language are used to control rather than cover. And before I go, I want to say this gently. When we judge a woman's behavior without understanding her history, we risk shaming a survival response that God Himself understands. If you have been surviving, you are not weak. You are alive, and I will see you next week, Sunday.